What's up, YouTube? Pink Ruby here with the breakdown and analyzation of my newest Mario Maker stage, Panic Button. So what I'm just going to be showing off here real quick is the complete. That's the hardest part I have with the entire level, by the way, is getting that shell onto my head. This is just going to be the complete playthrough of the level real quick. Won't take very long. It's not a very long level, and then I'll go over what everything is, why I haven't everything where I haven't, what this level originally was planned out to be, because it was actually planned to be a little bit different. And in fact, honestly, as it is now, I feel like this is one of my easier levels, like significantly easier. Originally, the level was going to be very, very different, incredibly different, and then that didn't really plan out the way I wanted to. So instead, I changed to something else entirely, and then from there, I actually made the level significantly easier. So it changed quite a few times. But anyway, so that was the complete playthrough of the level. So let's get back. I'm gonna jump into Course Maker real quick, and start showing off the level. Yeah, a little better. Right, so here we are in Course Maker. So right off the bat, I want to talk about. I want to first talk about what this level I had originally hoped to do with this level, but I couldn't because this trick didn't work. This was a trick you could do in the original Super Mario World that no longer works in Mario Maker, which is with Yoshi in the original Super Mario World. It was possible to I done killed something there. It was possible to land on a P-switch and then eat the P-switch with Yoshi. Eat the P-switch with Yoshi, putting the pressed P-switch in his mouth. At which point, when you spit it out, it would be a whole P-switch again. You would still have the unpressed P-switch there that you could use again. And originally, my idea for a P-switch stage was going to be a long, complicated series of, it's a labyrinth with a series of spin jumps, Yoshi jumps, all kinds of things that required you to essentially keep to move a P-switch around the entire stage while keeping it depressed, because everything was going to be made out of coin blocks. So you had to constantly keep duplicating the P-switch and then still perform throughout the whole level. Unfortunately, that glitch doesn't exist in this game. I know it was a glitch, but I was hoping maybe it just kind of was a byproduct of the engine, and that when they brought it over, it could still be done. Unfortunately, it could not. So I kind of put that on the back burner for a little bit. I ended up going with. I ended up not going with that, obviously, but then I started sort of just designing a P-switch maze anyways, where it's like, well, okay, so you can't use the dupe, so instead, why don't I just make, a P-switch level where, you're just on a strict time limit, you have to get from P-switch to P-switch, and I didn't really like how it was planning out, just as like a coin block maze kind of thing. And then the other day when I was at Azani's White Dragon's house doing the live stream, I played Skyzo, which is one of Panga's levels, and I want to say it reintroduced me to P-switch jumping, but that's not true. It just sort of made me fully aware that P-switch jumping was still in the game, which kind of surprised me, honestly. I knew P-switches before this caused some wonky physics when you landed on them, but I just assumed it was a cause of the state of the Switch, not that it would. I didn't think that it actually still counted as a platform like it did in the original games. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. But because of that, I decided, well, why don't I make a level that's sort of just based around P-switch tricks in general? And that's where I started this stage on. Now, right off the bat, I ripped this wholesale, this beginning of the level right here, wholesale off of Skyzo. The P-switch to a Koopa. Mostly just because I needed a way to start the level that forced you to move quickly and move upwards. And I just thought, you know what? The way they have it in Skyzo works really well. I'm gonna use that. I didn't bother with the giant thwomp that kills you if you don't move soon enough, because my level punishes you for not moving fast enough on its own. I didn't really need that. I also decided to go with a coin block instead of a death block on the P-switch, because I think it's funnier. And also because I wanted to test myself to see if I could get the coin that spawns from this block right here while doing the level. So right off the bat, what I needed was vertical movement, because a P-switch level doesn't work in theory, because anything that's within, I believe, 1.5 full, like one full screen vertical and not one full screen, but like almost one full screen vertical and one full screen horizontal is loaded the second you spawn. So when you spawn in this level right here, where Mario is, everything up to about right here-ish is already spawned, as well as everything about like right here. Not that it matters, since there's not anything over there. So right off the bat, my biggest issue was building this first section of the level. Once the first section of the level is built, nothing matters, because there's never a point in this level where P-switches aren't active. So I can just build coin areas anywhere and it will still work. So my biggest issue was, what I wanted to have was, I wanted to force spin jumps going vertical, and I needed a way to do that with these spinies, so that they would be where you need them to be, essentially, so that you can spin jump. And the biggest problem there is that there's no way to control which way the spinies move when they're placed on an object. Note that right here, the spiny will move left, but right here he moves up and then starts moving right. So as he is right now, he'll move, this way. That was kind of annoying. If I could just control it, I actually would have made this more difficult, to be completely honest. Because the other thing is, I can't even place him low right here to have him start moving up after the P-switch is hit. And I can't place him on any of these coins. So I was sort of limited to where I could place this guy right here. Anyway, getting back into it. The way I have this built here, though, I actually like how it turned out. With the coins where they are, and with only these two blocks for this spike top to walk on, if you do not hit the P-switch immediately, you've lost the level. So I didn't need to force a time limit or anything at the beginning to force Mario to move, because literally the way the level is designed forces Mario to move. The hardest part of my entire level, I'm going to say this right now, for me, is this shell. This goddamn shell. I don't know what I do wrong, okay? But a good 70% of the time, I jump off this P-switch, I land here, I walk forward, and I kick the shell. Holding B, trying to pick it up. It does not work. So I've taken to landing on the P-switch, jumping right here, and then jumping, turning around, and landing while holding B to grab this thing. It's what I have to do. Maggie, if you're watching, when I played your level and then I broke it, that's what took me the longest time to beat your level, is that I kept kicking the damn helmets that I was trying to use. Anyway, in creating this area, I decided to go with the Shelmet the Shelmet part right here, the jump to down here, just to force a lot of momentum. If I had done coins or anything right here, like that right here, to make a coin fortress, not a coin fortress, a coin route, it would have given you time to set up. I didn't want that. I wanted fast jump, spin jump, land on Yoshi. If you want, you can go up into this corner. It doesn't really do much for you, unfortunately, so there's that. It's a pretty basic little part right here, and originally it was going to be a lot more difficult. Originally, I was going to have a much longer, like, spiked maze area that would go down and then go up, and it would have been very limited in how you... It would have been all Shelmet parts, and it would have been very limited in how you got them. Like, I was going to place... two of them right next to each other. Oh, that's not right. Whoa. So that you'd land, lose it, have to land incredibly precisely to grab one, put it on, then grab the other, and then there'd be a big empty spot. Not empty, but like big area where you would have to run off of the platform with one, lose it immediately, keep running, place the second one just as your invincibility is running out, continue on, jump onto a P-switch just as your invincibility is running out, then spin jump onto the Thwomp, then onto the Yoshi. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. The entire reason that's not in this part of the game is because I can't pick up the shells. Okay? So I'd have never completed the level. I'd have never gotten it uploaded. I'm terrible. You guys can make fun of me. I've earned it. I'm awful. But anyway. So done correctly, as you saw in the video, it looks like this. Oh, not like that. Never mind, I lied. I swear I'm better at this than it looks. I beat a Panga level, guys, okay? I know what I'm doing. Anyway. This is the first of two troll switches. Maybe three, depending. I figure most people's instinct will be to hit this switch immediately and think they need more time. You don't, though. The idea, obviously, is to throw it directly underneath this Thwomp and then spin jump on it. Originally, I had planned on something a little bit different. I was going to have this area go down lower, and then there'd be a second layer of coins right here. And then you would go underneath to cause the Thwomp to come out. Throw the switch up just as it's about to hit you, then run around, run back, jump onto the second layer of coins, and then spin jump as it's going up. Unfortunately, the P-switch throw up to a Thwomp is really finicky. There are a lot of times when it just does not work. I played through Seth Bling's one-screen puzzles the other night. That same night I uploaded the video, and one of his revolves around Thwomps and not Thwomps and P-switches, but there's a part in it where you have to throw a P-switch up at a Thwomp, and for some reason it just, like, 80% of the time, it's just, like, if it gets lower than halfway down, it's just not going to work. So I just decided to leave that right there, and then just have a little pit where you throw the switch in, let the Thwomp hit it, and then spin jump up. Anyone who hits this switch will lose immediately in my level. And I'm okay with that. You live, you learn, and then you die. And then you use what you learn to not die again. Don't ask why this is two-spaced right here. I just did it. Originally this one was... Okay. Originally this was also two-spaced. But I decided I want to make the jump to this platform a little further, so I actually just moved it. And I didn't bother respacing everything, so whatever. Because of how it is now, it is entirely possible to jump from this P-switch to this P-switch in my level, but I left all three just because it makes it a little easier, and because I did the work to get the damn timing on these things bouncing. This was really hard to test, by the way, guys. These ones begin bouncing depending on when they are spawned. The first one is spawned earlier than the second one and the third one, which is why they're at altering heights. As they are now, once you get here and cause them to spawn, they'll be spaced so that when you jump, if you jump on the first one while it's around here, by the time you leave it and get to this area, the next one will be under you, and then same thing. This is the second of the troll switches, and I'm going to be completely honest, this line of coins right here is only here to make you think you need to hit this switch. Because when you get there and you see, you know, they're blocks because you've just hit these switches, you probably think, oh, there's more coin stuff coming up, or there's more coin block parts coming up. I need to have this switch hit for as long as possible. No. You carry it through these series of jumps that get a little bit harder. I don't know why. Okay, yeah. Originally, this was a coin, which would become a block that, you know, obviously if you hit, it would just bounce you down and you'd land into this. And I'm like, what's the point of that? I could just put a spike block there and it's harder. And it, you know, it just kills you instantly if you hit it. I considered putting a second spike block there as well, making this one more difficult, but I was like, no. I'm not going to have two super difficult jumps onto these. I mean, it's already actually kind of difficult, but the actual really difficult is this one block jump here. So, as you saw, the idea here is P-switch all the way down, and this is where I finally implemented what I wanted to implement it earlier into the level, a P-switch throw. From the instant of landing on this P-switch, you no longer have the ability to hit this P-switch. Or not landing on this P-switch, I'm sorry. The instant you land on this platform, I said the instant you land on this P-switch. The instant you land on this platform, you no longer have a chance to hit this P-switch. Once the platform starts going down, if you jump, you'll never land on the P-switch. And by the time you reach solid land, which would be these coins here, one of two things will have happened. If you make it as fast as humanly possible, which is doable, I've actually done it, I tested it. Took me a long time, but I wanted to make sure that this would not be possible. You can get here, land here just fast enough to drop the P-switch and jump on it, and then have this spike top get too low for you to actually make it on top of the wall of coins. So, the wall that spawns right here. So, it actually has to be that you make it with the P-switch through here, throw it up as you're jumping, have this thwomp hit it for you, and then you'll have enough time to make it here. This secondary falling platform is a safety net. It's entirely possible, and most of the time I actually do, to jump from this platform, throw the P-switch up, and land on this moving skull platform. But I just left it as is. These three I really like. I wanted to implement this at some point in a level, and I decided this would be the best place to do it. Just to add a little bit of difficulty to the end of my level, since I didn't think my level was particularly hard. Making this one block jump is way more difficult when you're on one of these platforms. This is the part that got me at the end the most. I just had the hardest time getting into this one block, but that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be difficult, and then making it there. This spike top should be around. I think it's the 4th coin when you reach this area, and you need to be bouncing on it on either the 5th or the 6th, and then you can land on here. The spacing on these flying P-switches might seem a little odd, but again, with how the items spawn, these ones don't start moving until you're within a certain distance of them. And when you land on top of the wall here, only the first one will actually be moving towards you. And you have to jump on it pretty quickly and then immediately jump off of it to another one that you can't see, which kind of sucks, but sorry guys. And this is the other area where I straight up just undid an idea that I had, because I thought it was too difficult and wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been easy to implement. It would have been too difficult, and I probably would have had so much trouble doing it. I just wouldn't have wanted to play through the level to beat it and upload it. And if I'm not having fun when I play the level, I think it's a bad level. That's true for my own levels, and that's true for other people's levels. So, originally what the plan was here was I was actually going to have a second P-switch. Actually, hold on. It would make more sense to do it like this. Like floating above this one, or like right around here. And the idea would be that you land on the first P-switch, jump and grab this P-switch, and then continue moving along the P-switch blocks, the P-switch steps, and then use that as the safety means to live at the very end. But I should also point out I also originally considered to have like a part where you had to throw that P-switch up as you landed on the last P-switch, and then spin jump, or no, throw it up as you're about to land on the last P-switch, then spin jump off of a couple things while catching it, and then reaching this area where you would use it as a safety item. But yeah, it was a little bit too difficult, especially with how the weird timing with which these things spawned, and I just decided it needed to go. So that ended up getting pulled out of this level. This is the theoretical third troll P-switch. I say theoretical because I'm hoping you learned your lesson on this screen, where when you land in front of a P-switch and still have plenty of time, don't just immediately hit the P-switch. But if you didn't, you died for it. Sorry guys, no way to make it past this thwomp. At least I don't think so. Maybe I should have lowered this guy a little bit. Nah, that's fine. Let's find out. I tested this a couple times, but now that every time I look at it, I feel like, no, there's got to be enough time to make it under him. Nope, there is definitely not enough time to make it under him. But I still think he should be high, a little bit lower, because I feel like if you wait, it should still be possible. Oh, no, that's right. He destroys the ground! Now I remember. That jump might still be makeable, though. Let's find out, shall we, guys? Oh, yep, that didn't work. This is the hard part of testing my level, by the way. When I wanted to test this entire section, I had to start from back here. Oh, and I had to replace those coins with actual land. And then undo it later, yeah. Because otherwise it's really hard to make a position where you can actually test this. I feel like you can probably make that jump, but yeah, it's a lot easier if you just bring the switch with you. Yeah, originally this was just going to be a small thwomp. And then I was like, I couldn't remember why. I was like, wait a minute, I need to not do a small thwomp. Why? I just made it big, and I didn't even try to remember what it was. Now I remember. It's because if you do a big thwomp, it destroys the ground. Ah, good level design, me. So yeah, that's the whole of Panic Switch. There weren't a lot of other cut ideas. I mean, unless you count the entire other level I wanted to build and then just didn't because I couldn't. I kind of considered doing more things with spin jumps and carrying P-switches with spin jumps. I heavily considered doing a second P-switch here and then having you to throw one, spin jump and catch the other one, like bring them both down here. Spin jump and carrying it up here. And then like tossing it onto a small platform of spikes right here. And then landing on it, and then immediately landing on these. I just pulled it again because it's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too convoluted. I'm out to make levels that are really, really difficult to finish, but not levels that are unfun. To that end, I want to give a shout out to Panga, who everyone who plays this game knows his levels. Skyzo, which is the only level of his I've completed so far, and Superstar, which is the other level I'm currently kind of just trying to learn so that I can complete it, are what I consider good levels from Panga. Stuff like P-Break and his new level that like Pang Pong or whatever he calls it, I'd consider bad levels. And part of it has to do with difficulty, but part of it just has to do with the fact that they're not in any way, shape, or form fun to play. Because Skyzo is still really hard, as is Superstar. But the difference is a lot of the stuff in P-Break and stuff like that are just too much. It's requiring like absolute pixel perfection and serious amounts of like foreknowledge that you couldn't possibly have. And it also has, the invisible coin block problem. That's something in all of Panga's levels that I don't like, where he just sticks an invisible coin blocks places. Invisible coin blocks are not good game design. It's punishing you for something that is literally impossible for you to know. But anyway, I want my levels to lean more on the Skyzo difficulty, where the levels are difficult to complete, and it does require, a couple, probably going to require more than one playthrough so that you can figure out what it is expected of you. But I don't want it to be something where it's like, this is so bullshit, I don't want to play anymore. So yeah. That's why my levels have sort of been skewing on the easier side, and why I've been pulling the more difficult stuff out. To another end, I should say, like, one of the other things I considered in the level but I pulled out was, this was originally after the duplication idea, and back to when I just wanted to do like a coin maze. I was going to have, I was going to have a part where you had to grab a P-switch, do a P-switch jump, which is where which when you're using a grab P-switch, you throw it off a wall, or like you do with a spring jump. Grab a second P-switch that's on a platform you wouldn't be able to land on, but you'd be able to get high enough to grab it. Then do a drop P-switch jump, which is really difficult. And then spin jump off of that, and then land on something else. And I actually, I didn't record it, but I had built that at one point, and I was practicing it, and it took me an hour just to get like the first completion of that part, and I was just like, no, this can't happen. This is stupid. But yeah, so this is Panic Switch. If you have Mario Maker, give it a shot. Even though you know what all the tricks are, I can still promise you it's a difficult level. I don't know what I'm going to do with my next one yet. I don't know where I'm going to go with it. I kind of want to do an auto-scroller level, or a pseudo auto-scroller level, but I'm not sure. I might do something with moving platforms, like sort of an obstacle course type level. I'm not sure. But we'll see. For now, though, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Pink Reaper, signing out.